Very warm welcome, everyone. This is the last session of the retreat, which has been an adventure of many different deep aspects for all of us. And we had lots of questions from you. So through email, on the chat, so there's an extra recording on the G Drive. I hope you can hear well. I hope the translation is working. Just need Spanish to be co-host. Wait for the Spanish. Great, Spanish is with us. And I'd like to share with you a couple of quotes. And this first one is with Bob Dylan, and quite simply, but poetically, he says, "There's nothing so stable as change." You get that feeling of a mindset of the poet watching a little bit detached from what is happening around in the world. And certainly with change, we don't know how it will change. And that has been the test for all of us. So this world is unpredictable, and the slogan from yesterday, "Expect the unexpected," was really very helpful. And seeing this world in that view, that it's like a soap opera, whatever is happening, as a way to take a step back. This second quote, it's always fascinated me. "If I had an hour to solve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions." And this was an Albert Einstein quote, and how relevant. In lots goes into the process of understanding, but when we've understood, it is something very simple, because solution is already, it can happen quickly. So something to reflect on, and happy to hear your thoughts. I think today will be a very rich session to conclude. Afterwards, we'll be sharing information about the follow-up retreat in another 3 weeks. So handing over to Prashant, warm welcome.
Thank you, and good morning. And so nice, these quotes, and especially that message. First, understand the situation before trying to help. First, get the diagnosis right. So it is so different when in the present world, where everyone is busy helping and solving without really understanding how this world exists, without even understanding whom they are helping. So that is a big paradox. So let us create a few minutes getting our understanding. It is like a reset, reminding ourselves of the basic facts, seeing it in clarity. We sometimes use the language spiritual sight. So with this spiritual sight, you are just seeing what is obvious. For example, if this world is temporary, for us it is temporary, we see it as temporary. If someone gives you a diamond, most precious diamond, it is your diamond, for 5 seconds, what will be your attitude towards it? You are told it is totally yours, but for 5 seconds, you are quite happy to hold it, but it is not yours really. Whether instead of 5 seconds, it is 10 seconds, does it change? And instead of 10 seconds, it is 100 years. Should it be different? it is still temporary. But when we are in our ordinary, intellect, we are deceived by 10 seconds. And we justify a completely different attitude towards it. So here, this world, we know it is temporary. So whether it is 5 seconds or 100 years, maybe it is temporary world for us. That's why the language of guest. And that's why the importance not to create any bondage. If someone creates a bondage with a 5-second diamond, what will be the result? He will just suffer the rest of his life. I lost my diamond. Same here also. The moment you create a bondage, the suffering starts instantly. What we saw yesterday, the expectation, it's a bondage. Something that is not in your hand, you are creating a bondage. And it is a childish confusion. But we also saw how easy to come out of it. When we use the spiritual side, we see this whole world is like this. And whether you call it a great world or a story world or a soap opera, circus, whatever you call it, bottom line, it is temporary for us. And that is not our world. Even in scriptures, there is a reference. Like for example, Bible, there is a reference. We are in this world, but not of this world. So the traveler, the invisible traveler, he has the attitude. He is in this world, but not of this world. He has exit, guaranteed exit. He is temporarily associated with this world. That is his attitude. So he has got nothing to worry about, and he's got nothing to lose. He knows he doesn't own a single atom in this world. This exit is a very important aspect not to forget. The guest is always aware of the return journey, that temporary nature of it. It makes our mind healthy. Otherwise, one is deceived. We said childish confusion, childish deception. So one who is using the spiritual side, he is seeing the temporary nature of the whole thing. And that includes this gathering, that includes Prashant. The invisible traveler is seeing this. And something beautiful happens. The moment he is free from any bondages, he realizes there is no reason ever for any disappointments. He's got nothing to lose. And he is beyond harm in an absolute way. Mind is free from any drops of anything unpleasant. There is nothing to complain, nothing to worry, nothing to be obsessed. And once one is in the positive space, then everything becomes wonderful. Then you are seeing every moment is a gift, and every experience is a gift. Even little sound and little noise and wind, everything appears cheerful if one is in that space. And we have the option to come in that space now. It is not a long planning required, or we have to go through some training. We can see the perspective of the invisible traveler. Invisible traveler is an invisible guest. Invisible traveler is the invisible observer. Thank you. We are going to take the subject of today, but quite happy to hear any thoughts, any comments.
Thank you. So a lot of questions were actually answered in the drive, so do feel free to check that out. But there is something that came up, would be good to understand the difference between love and detachment, or attachment, or because yesterday there was this subject of love that came up. Do you have any comments?
Okay, I will be using the board. We have not used the board so far, so you will see board on your screen, and you can adjust, make it small, big. Even this word detachment is at least in English, that word has got different meanings, and for us it can be a little confusing also, because in different cultures, different places, it will have different meaning. That's why the better word is bondage and freedom. That's a better word. And try and stay with that word. We want to become free from bondage, and any kind of bondage is not anything healthy for anyone. If you are tied anywhere, it is not healthy. Freedom is healthy. Yesterday we saw becoming slave is like a bondage. And it can only create problem to you and to others also. So here, we are emphasizing the aspect of freedom. But let us take the example in relationship, the department of bondage, which we may not realize. And I will explain this giving an example. And the real life example. And this is a case of a mother and a son, and both are in Cambridge, and the son wants to go to another country, and mother says she loves him so much that it is good for him not to go, stay there. This doesn't happen a lot here, but that is the way in this example. I want to use the board. So Here we are saying, what all we can say is the mother loves the son, and this is the department of love. Mother loves the son. But what we are also seeing along with love, there is another department, and that is a department mother has become dependent on the son. So she says, don't go, it may be good for you, but I will take sorrow, so don't go. I love you. That is her. But we are saying she loves, of course, so that is a department of love. But along with love, there is another department, and that is dependency. It is nothing to do with love. It is completely self-centered. I feel good if you are here. It is good for me. That is all it is. In time, this department of dependency has become bigger and bigger. Love is still there, as we see here, love is there, but now the dependency has become more. And now son says, I'm going to Australia, and she says, what about me? And she's quite happy to spoil the career of the son or future of the son. She's not even thinking what is good for him in the present or future. In the name of love, because in this confusion, she thinks all of this is love in our confusion. But what we are seeing here, there is a distinct department of dependency, which is nothing to do with love. And it actually stops her from loving. If that dependency was not there, she would have been able to think of him and say what I can do, for what is good for you. Like say if this dependency was not there, she would have thought, okay, don't worry about me. What is good for you? Let us see if you are thinking clearly. And then go. If it is right, then go. Don't worry about me. And send me a ticket after the lockdown. So that is one side. But here we are seeing that there is a dependency. And when there is a dependency, its roots are negative. As we are seeing here, childish ignorance, deception, all that is necessary to create dependency. Bondage, you are into bondage. And if the roots are negative, seed is negative, its fruit will be negative. Sorrow sooner or later will come. The love, if we are talking about love never becomes negative. Even though all your songs on love, they have some kind of sorrow in them, but love itself never becomes negative. It is this other department. Its roots are negative. That is what leads to all kinds of sorrow. Just like water will never catch fire. If there is petrol, that will catch fire, but not water. In the same way, love remains love. Its roots are different. Good for those who are writing songs on love to know this. So when we are using the word attachment word is used for this department of dependency. And that is all we want to be free from. And sometimes question comes, what about compassion? What about love? Where does that fit in? More you become free from dependency, you become more loving. That is where we want to be. It is a genuine love, authentic love. When it is false, then the song is very loud, but the real love can be very little. all mixed with some kind of selfish motives also within it. But it is a luxury, one who is free from that confusion and deception, and with that free from dependency, then he is having this big luxury in himself. He loves, and he doesn't need to make a big show of it. But it is authentic. Whatever that is authentic has its results. You don't have to worry about too much about the others noticing it or anything. Just get the quality right, and your mind is rich. We said on the first day, but in this mind we use the language of heart and head. The more you are free from this negative things, you discover richness of the heart and richness of the head. Excellent. Any other thoughts?
Thank you for that. Dish has asked in the chat how to be detached, and really the word you were saying is better to talk about dependency. So I guess the question could be how to not be dependent, but you also answered it to be truly loving. So do you want to add anything to that?
Okay, sure. That will brings us to another important subject, and let us come there. The spiritual model. By now, you all are getting the glimpse of this new or old. What is the spiritual model? We use the word, we are guests here, we are travelers. So these guests and the travelers, they have a world. They are not just floating guests. So that is spiritual model is this. The invisible travelers, they belong to this home. We all are invisible. When they are using the body, they are associated with the body and the mask for the drama. But we are invisible actors. They are the invisible travelers. They are the invisible guests. They are the invisible souls. They are immortal, and their world is timeless, secure. And they come in this great physical world, the theater. Temporary, but we know beforehand. Our interaction there is temporary. So these invisible travelers come here and they have an exit, they come out. So far so good. They have their own home, they have a family, they have immortality, they are secure, totally self-contained. They don't need this theater. They exist anyway, even before they knew about this theater. If they come as guests in this theater, that's an extra experience for them. So everything is so good, that extra fun. But they can cross this line of ignorance. Just a dotted line and representing ignorance. If they cross this line into ignorance, then you are into confusion. And then you are creating attachments and you are believing your own things. You even forget you are a guest. Our ignorance goes extreme. And in that ignorance, we go on creating attachments and we are getting trapped in this. What is meant as a great gift for us, we make it into a real chaos. It has become a web instead of a gift, and the reason for lots of sorrow. So this is like we are getting the map, what has happened to human beings. The spiritual model shows us this is the way things are, and we'll see what has happened. Plato uses the expression, we don't know that we don't know. So we can go into the ignorance to such a level, we don't even know what has happened. We don't even know that we are in the web, or we are upside down, even forgotten our home. So that is the state we are in. And so the effort is to take ourselves out of this present web. That is where our real effort is. Yesterday, what we saw, every time you are observing your bondages and expectations, you become free from the expectations. You are free from the web. It's part of the web you are free from. Every time you let go, you're becoming freer. And that is a good news. One freedom helps you to understand other webs and other knots and other bondages, because it is a positive process. We want to come on the right side of this line, dotted line. We want to get on this side. In this connection, just want to show a few things. 100% of sorrows in this world, I'm talking not 99%, 100% of the sorrows in this world are because of this box. Not 99, 100%. 100% of desperations, desires are connected with this box. 100% of ego are connected with this box. 100% of the vices are connected with this box. If we have wrong attitude towards this, bit careless, if someone is silly, and then you get trapped. If a bird, animal, if they are not clever, they get deceived. And if anyone gets deceived, he suffers. So here also, if we remain careless, you get deceived, you are trapped and suffer unnecessarily. So just 100% of sorrows are because of this. And the mind is busy then managing these different kinds of sorrows, whether it is suppression or different kind. All the systems have to manage that sorrow, different kinds of sorrow. But it expresses in the society. It is all social problems are because of this, secondary to this, crossing this line. So the nice aim for us to get on the right side of the line, become free from the bondage, and just have the right attitude towards this amazing world that we are given. Just have the right attitude, and then it cannot give you sorrow, and it cannot create in you these drops of poison that we spoke about. That is healthy mind. You want to add anything?
I thought it was interesting when you said that by understanding, being free, you actually understand more about the web and the knots. So it's not that you need to go into analysis. It's first the freedom, and then that grasp of the bigger picture. We understand how to be more free. The question that came here, how many and what dimensions does a soul travel in which, where are these souls or spirits located?
Yeah, we have explained here, not to make it too complex, a very simple model. There is the home, there is where, at least we know we are not from here. That is already obvious. What is mentioned in the Bible. We are in this world, but not of this world. So we have come here as guests and we leave. So let us have the right attitude towards this. And working model, we got a home beyond.
Yes.
One nice joke, one philosopher, he asks, what's the difference between optimist and pessimist? What will you say is the difference? Do you want to answer? What's the difference between optimist and pessimist?
You might have to wait a moment for these answers.
Yeah.
It's in the vision. That's one. Just translating a Spanish reply. The focus, the way of seeing the good side. Yeah, largely around the vision, whether it's freedom or bondage. What would you say?
Sure. So this philosopher, he says, optimist wakes up in the morning and says, good morning, God. 3 words. Good morning, God. Pessimist wakes up in the morning and says, good God, morning. For him, morning is a problem and evening is another problem. To go to work is a problem. To prepare breakfast is a problem. He's busy solving problems. Whereas optimist, the same life, and he sees every situation as an opportunity, not a problem. What made the difference? For one person, good God, it's morning. Morning is a problem. And for another, morning is such a wonderful morning, great, wonderful dawn. So what made a difference? Difference is created by where you are in this spiral. We said just as there is a downward spiral, we want to get on the upward spiral. And where you are in the spiral, if one is at this end of the spiral, below the line, then it will be one kind of reaction. The same one, if move a little further up in that line, then you find everything is wonder. We said that before, even the noise and the sound and wind, it appears all amazing thing, gift. There's nothing is a problem. If you are watching a drama and the dragon comes and the joker comes and everything appears, joke. King Kong comes, and king comes, you are entertained by every scene. But you have to be on the right side of the line. Excellent. So let us move to another subject, if it is okay.
Yes, there was just one question. I don't know if you want to take it another time, but someone's typed, how to be free when your daughter is feeling suicidal?
Yeah. And these questions are coming also yesterday also. Drama has got all kinds of situations. That is what the drama is. One day that will be one situation in the family, another day work. Sometimes there is a party, and some other time there is a Joker and King Kong. That is what the drama is. Now the question is, me by going into confusion and maybe affected, disappointed, stressed, it doesn't help anyone. That option is this. When we cross the line and create bondage and expectations, then you just get into the mindset where there is stress and sorrow. It doesn't help others. You are not more efficient to solve the problem or deal with the situation. If you are on the right side of the line, if there is no bondage, it appears very different. It is different, but you are not affected by it. You are internally in peace and you are in control. Then you are useful to others and you are more useful to yourself. Surgeons, if they are attached to a person and that person is a patient, surgeon is not allowed to operate on that patient. He has got all the skills, but he cannot operate. He cannot use those skills, because patient is in danger. Someone else will have to be brought to help the patient. So here is a person who has got skills and is able to help, but he's unable to help because of getting into this emotional tangle. That is all. So there is no indication ever for us to be the slaves. Understand that. It doesn't prevent us from solving situation. We all are acting. Right now, I'm talking here, we are acting. And we try to deal with this. At the same time, if there is attention not to get into the slave mind, that is healthier.
Yes, thank you. Someone else has typed how to handle them at that time, because we can't explain this to them, but this is not meant for the other person. It's one's own internal effort. You'd like to.
And also, it is not the last moment. We often use this language, homework. Like today, we are understood it. Let us get on with it. That we are not waiting for some high drama to come and then I have to, step back. That is not the point. And let us come in the truth. Today, if it is truth, then let us come in the truth. Whatever that is false, let us come out of that false position. We use the word deception and confusion. Let us come out of that. To cross the line is confusion. Go into the more details. We will also give you the link to go into more details on the subjects. So more you understand the subject, that helps to do the homework properly. So the subject of today, we are trying to understand mind, this subject in the context of other cognitive functions. About this apparatus, I'm not using the word brain, but the mind apparatus. Many functions are going on. And let us try and understand who are the other players in this. So for this, nice way to see mind in the image of it is a stage, drama stage. mind itself. It is an invisible stage. If the mind is the stage, who are the actors?
Thoughts.
Yes, very good. So it is a different thoughts come. They are the actors on this stage. We also know in our this amazing performance going on in the mind, there is also the audience, observer. Within this, there is an observer, someone is observing it. These are all different functions within the soul. Within our invisible entity, these functions are going on. There is a mind, and there is another and faculty within us that is observing this. Now, behind the mind, there is a, we said there is this stage. Behind the stage, there is a backstage. And in the backstage, there are many, many actors, potential actors. But we also know this stage is such a stage. Only one actor can come on the stage at any one time. In other words, if we look at our mind, there can only be one thought at any moment. You can't have two thoughts at the same moment. Maybe they come at such speed and they are coming at all kinds. They are competing maybe, but there can be just one thought. Our meditation is not aimed to stop thoughts. That is not possible. No one can stop thought, but you can slow down the thoughts. You can keep one thought, but mind, there is a thought. We think, therefore we exist. So this backstage, there are many, many actors, and these actors want to come on the stage. And that is their duty to come on the stage. Just like if there is someone who is a musician, he wants to play music. If someone is a cricket player, he wants to play cricket. He doesn't want to just stay at home. In the same way, these actors want to come on the stage. It so happens to come on the stage, say this actor manages to come on the stage. To come on the stage becomes a nourishment for him. And it makes him stronger. Just as, say, if in your town there are many potential actors, one actor gets a job on BBC, then he is more likely to get more jobs. He will become more popular actor, because to come on the stage makes him stronger in some way. So there are many actors here, and if one or two come on the stage once or twice, they become stronger, and then there is a competition all the time. All these actors want to come on the stage, and some manage to compete better. So those who have become stronger, they are able to stop others and dominate the stage again and again. That explains why 90% of our thoughts are cyclical thoughts. Because some of these actors have become bully. And bully means they have become, a bit like a, tough bandits. They are able to dominate, the scene. Within this backstage, maybe there are some very good actors, hero actors. that in the present scene, they have no chance to come on the stage because some of these bullies are dominating the scene. They want to come to those, actors again and again. So they come on the stage, they have their own agenda, they think about, they worry about, complain about. That is what is going on. Our mind will be a healthy mind if we let these good guys come on the stage and be stronger. It is not coming on the stage once, but we may have to remove these bad guys and let the good guys become stronger. Then it is a real healthy mind. But in the present scene, there is no chance. How can this happen? Because there is a vicious circle here in operation. And these bad guys are going to become stronger and stronger in the present dynamics, psychodynamics. Now we have seen so far in this our cognitive apparatus, there is a stage, there is a backstage, there are actors, there is audience. What else is there? If there is a performance, with the drama performance, you have a stage, there is backstage, there are actors, the audience. What else is required?
A director and also a script.
Good, very good. So here, we need a director here. So the director, we call this director intellect. In any drama, any performance, director is completely in charge of the stage. Nothing can happen on the stage without the permission of the director. Director decides every detail. Which actor should come, what he should do, what he should not do. He is in complete command, in charge, as long as he is awake or as long as he is conscious. If the director is not even conscious, then these bad guys become the masters of the stage. They can just go there and beat their drums as loud as possible and create chaos. And the audience has to suffer by seeing what is happening, the circus that is going on. But if the director should be conscious, and director should be sensible, and he should have a clear map what should happen, then the things can change on the stage. So we use the word intellect, but understand here is one who is the director of this performance. Now at present, if there is a chaos going on in the performance, and if these good guys are not even getting the chance, then it means the director is not doing the job properly. If these psychical thoughts are going on, then it means the director is not doing the job. And so we have to check what we need to do at the level of the director. In fact, our intervention can only be from here. Our intervention we cannot change the subconscious. This backstage is the subconscious. We cannot change the mind, we cannot change the subconscious mind directly. But if we have to change anything, it has to start from the director. Let us see if the director has got the right understanding. So just now we saw in our discussion that here is a stage, we are coming to the earlier model, that we are dealing with a circus, we are dealing with a story, and there are souls who are passing through this. They got an eternal home. Is our director aware of it? Or is the director seeing things very differently? Is the director confused? And ordinarily, director is not even aware of the bigger map. That crossing the line and all happens at the level of the director. He sees things differently. And just bringing this knowledge, director coming to know about this, coming to know that there is a bigger reality, coming to know that he is innately the true traveler and the true self is absolutely safe, secure. And the story cannot harm him, even the slightest. He's immortal. Some of these things, if the director understands it, it has such power. Because as the understanding comes in the director, he is able to bring different actors in the drama, in this mind. Just the understanding is different. So different things happen. Now the actors who are going to come on the stage, there is a chance of the good guys coming on the stage. Because now this actor is saying, okay, they are all everyone is from the same family, same home. They are my brothers. He is at least creating this thought. Everyone is from the same home. Earlier, there was a sort of, you were angry with the dragon, you are liking the camel. And now you are saying this is a drama. You are amused by the drama. You are amused by the actions of the dragon. And behind the dragon is your brother, and he is worthy of immense love. Very different. Even for one time, but you have brought that actor on the stage. Who brought it? It is the director who brings it. Now this step has to happen. Even once you are bringing bringing these good guys on the stage. And the moment it has happened once, now the game changes. Because that actor becomes stronger. We use the word sanskara. So certain tendencies become stronger. So this becomes stronger, and now that can come more often. So these are not superficially, we can bring these actors, but director need to understand what he's doing, why he's doing. And so now a new cycle has started. And these good guys are becoming stronger. They are coming on the stage more often. With the permission of the director. Director has got new knowledge, these new actors are coming. As these are coming on the stage more often, these bad guys get less chance to come on the stage. Director is understanding they need to be stopped. Director understands what has been happening all this time. So these bad guys get stopped now. There is a chance. So they are not coming on the stage easily. So they become less. where we are talking about the change is happening, not just at a superficial level, just you are happy, loving, kind one day, but deeper change is happening at the level of the conscious and subconscious. The new tendencies are getting stronger. One thing to emphasize here, someone may read books and knows the scriptures by heart, and even today we understand this knowledge and we agree even. That is not enough. That doesn't change the subconscious. One may have written books or read books, but that doesn't change the subconscious. What changes the subconscious? One word answer.
How do you change the subconscious?
Yeah.
With a one-word answer, okay?
Mhm.
And you want to practice, repetition, and action.
Yeah,
Um,
the word I'm looking for is action.
mm,
Based on understanding, you have to act once. It may appear there will be resistance because the bad guys, they don't want you to think that. Like, for example, someone, you say, this one is bad person, I want to punish him, they are terrible. That was the thinking. And now you are saying, no, that is a drama, and behind this drama, they are the brothers, and they remain forever good. The soul's invisible actors, they are completely different to the part, and they are immensely lovely. So you are really talking about loving the enemy. And as someone who you have seen as enemy and you want to react in a certain way, in your mind even. Now you are saying, no, he's my brother. And full stop. And this applies to each and every one on the planet. All life, the souls are brothers. In a drama, they got all kinds of parts, including animal parts, all kinds of drama parts. But souls are, your attitude is of brother. And so they deserve love, they are worthy of love. They are good and they are harmless. Completely different to the drama and the character. You are bringing this into your awareness and experience once. There will be resistance, but once you have done it, it changes the dynamics. That becomes your sanskara tendency. It will become easier to come in this experience again. And you do it once, twice, 3 times, it is replacing the old pattern. Same thing applies to every aspect. You are finding there is no real reason for negative tendencies, just things of sorrow. There is no real reason. Because drama is great and everyone is great. One who is conscious, his understanding, not just a simple chant, his understanding is everyone is good and everything is good. At every level, everything is good and everyone is good. Because to start with, everyone is immortal. They all are safe. Drama has got variety of plots, and that is the drama. You don't say any scene of the drama is bad. King comes on the stage is nice, and King Kong comes on the stage. That is also nice. You are not seen as bad. You act as a hero actor. You act whatever you feel is appropriate in the situation, but you are not going in a negative direction. You understand that doesn't help anyone. There is enough. If there are people doing wrong things, it is because of crossing the line. So if you are crossing the line for any reason, it doesn't rectify anything. It contributes to the problem. So at least you stay on the right side of the line. So that's very good. So here we said it is the action based on understanding. Come in the action, auspicious action. We are not saying just positive action. We want action based on knowledge. We want to be in truth. That line above the dotted line, you are in truth. That is where we want to be. Not superficially positive or happy. That is not the aim. If the foundation is truth, then the results will be long-term.
Prashant, we have a few questions, maybe so we don't lose people. Can we go back to the mind sketch? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, sure.
Just well, the first, just to get completely clear, because they were asking, what's the role of the soul in this model? Is the soul the audience?
What we are saying, these are all different faculties within the soul. Mind is also within the soul, intellect is also within the soul, thoughts are also within the soul. Different functions happening at the level of the soul.
And who is the audience?
Understand the mind. That model is helping us to understand the mind. And within the soul, there is an observer.
Mm. Okay, that helps. And just to clarify, it wasn't understood by one about action. So action changes the subconscious. Could you just?
Yeah, action here is not physical action, but it is the action of the mind. You are just having creating one thought, but the thought coming based on knowledge. Even when you are reminding that you are the invisible traveler passing through this, you are creating that thought. That is the action here. You are coming in those experiences.
Okay, I think that helps. Sorry, please complete what you're going to say. There are other questions, but they maybe can come once you've come.
It will be nice. Just one sentence, and then we'll come to the question. So we sometimes use the language game of 1 minute. We may be busy doing various things, but right now we all have an option to create 1 minute. And in this 1 minute, see our life with this model. See the perspective of the invisible actor for 1 minute. How the invisible actor, what is the perspective? How will he see it? Invisible actor is not Prashant. Prashant is part of the story. But we are seeing in a clean, fresh, for 1 minute. Or it can be half a minute. If you are very busy, create 10 seconds. But let these 10 seconds be of quality. See it totally from the perspective of the invisible traveler. And that becomes like the action. And that becomes the that shift in the subconscious. It is the mind, as we said, mind is a neutral stage. It is a subconscious that also need to change. Then the results are long-term. These changes stay from today to tomorrow, from this life to beyond, if the deeper changes take place. Yes, happy. Let us take some other questions.
thank you. Thoughts become stronger. Say the thoughts that haven't served us well from maybe childhood. How can you build the good actors to overcome the bandits? I think you've sort of just answered it, but
you answered, but we'll also be giving you our idea of meditation is this. The various cluster of thoughts, various thoughts, they are coming from above the line, coming from the position of truth. And as you are experiencing not just thoughts in a superficial way, but you are experiencing it, you are creating the attitude based on it, they bring the changes.
I like this simple definition of meditation, thoughts from above the line. How do you break ruminating thoughts, so procrastination?
I might like to encourage you to listen to some recordings. We'll give you the link for that. There are, and there will be this is the introduction. There will be opportunity to follow up the process.
Yes, it goes for some of the other questions, how to elevate the director. So once we've understood all this inner dynamic, we will be more empowered to elevate the director. Question, is it important to keep the practice of acting from the director's position?
Of course, if 1 minute helps you, and 2 minutes will be amazing. Continue to congratulate each time you are doing this 1 minute, but let it be of quality. Every time you are coming there, check that it is not just the words are used and the same old pattern is going on, but you are experiencing the quality, and then the results will be guaranteed.
Okay, thank you. Not everyone is seeking truth. So we also need to raise our intellect and awareness to bring one's own highest character, make it strong in the presence of negativity. I think it may be more of a comment, but I wanted to mention anything about it.
And leaving aside others, let us come into truth ourselves. And the truth is not some philosophical truth. Here we are talking about our own life, our truth.
Sure. Yes, actually there was a question there. What can we do to raise the intellect? But yes, focusing on one's own inner work. And it seems like everything else will fall into place once we've grasped it for ourselves, would you say?
Yeah, excellent. And then if you are to create time for, we said 1 minute, let us create 1 minute now. And then we will have a few minutes of the rooms workshop after that. And even though I might use the language of 1 minute, it might be more than a minute. There is that flexible time here. So during this minute, let us experience what is drawn there right now, what you see on your screen. I might encourage you to draw something like this, a wonderful sketch like this, if you're welcome to take photograph. And keep it in your main room. because each time you look at this sketch, it helps you to get a grasp of our journey. It gives you micro experiences, just looking at it. Otherwise, there is nothing in our life, in our ordinary day, that reminds us of the bigger map. So we definitely need this reminder. We also mentioned exit. There is nothing, we are blocked, we got a blind spot. We can't see something that is obvious. And so keeping a room like this and knowing that this is our story. And it is not, as someone was asking, truth, someone is not interested. No, this is our reality. And if we are not in this truth, we are in serious confusion. We don't even know who we are and where we come from, lost in the story. That is a serious, and that is the cause of lots of our complications in our life and future complications. Any confusion, ignorance just creates problems and more problems. And so we are saying the answer is, first let us come out of this. What is obviously false, let the foundation be right through. So right now, if we have to create 1 minute, we use this spiritual sight. Spiritual sight helps us see this bigger map. Spiritual sight helps me to see this whole physical world, what is in front of you right now, as a story, as it is, including this gathering and Zoom. It is all happening in the story. And Prashant keeps talking non-stop. That is also happening in the story. And there is a real world behind this story. And the real world is invisible. That is the uniqueness of this. It is subtle, unearthly, but it is eternal. In this real world are the real beings. We call them souls. They are those invisible travelers, and they are immortal. This dimension, the unearthly, invisible dimension, is the main one. Story is not the main one. Here are the real players, invisible players. And we are realizing they are beyond harm. Story cannot harm anyone. That is like a relief. They are beyond harm and they are immortal. Just this understanding. They are immortal and they are beyond harm already changes the mind. Everyone is safe, everyone is secure forever. So as we go through our journey in the sky, on earth, we remember this beautiful truth. Okay, let me ask one more question to you. In this life, on this planet, everyone is ruled by one word. What is that word? Everyone's life is ruled by one word. In the present world we are talking about, in the kingdom of Boris, one word is ruling everyone's life. And the ruling almost constantly.
Me, my, money, mind, illusion, peace, ego, security, lack of self-respect, love, dollars, attachment, falsehood.
If you get a right answer, you might get a chocolate delivered.
Okay. Thoughts, ego, attachment, me and mine, dependency, fear.
Okay, the word I am looking for is the word end, E-N-D.
Okay. No chocolates today.
E-N-D, end. Not just end of the body, not just the death, but end. If you are doing a job, and so you don't want the end. No one likes this word end. Whether you're in the job, whether in a relationship, or whether you're having ice cream, or in this life, you don't want the end. And so everyone is busy fighting this end. But what we are also seeing, the end is guaranteed. Everything is going to end. So they live a life of disappointment. It is nicely described in the spiritual writing. Everyone's life is anxious lust and lustful anxiety. And the death is a failure. So the whole life is, they're fighting this end. So there's an anxious lust. I want more, more, more. Why they want more? They think somehow they can fight this end. If they have more, if they have more guns, if they have somehow they can fight this end. At the drama level, that's where they are fighting. And that is the confusion part. When you discover immortality and when you discover you're beyond harm, that deep instinct is addressed in an intelligent way. No one likes that end, but now you discover that your world and everyone, your true family, there's no end. All are immortal. Your world is eternal. And the story, of course, the story changes. You don't want it. You don't want to get stuck in a story forever. Story is fine. It begins, ends. And as long as your world, your home is safe. That's why the mind changes completely. The quote that Sarah read on the first day, mind in its own place and of itself can make heaven of hell, hell of heaven. If you grasp this, you literally change hell into heaven. It's like mind, huge shift, because you know that there is no end. There's nothing to worry about now. And everything becomes, you are seeing with the different attitude. Excellent. So we'll keep the chocolate for ourselves, or we'll keep it for next time.
Yes. Quick question, maybe. Is the end also change?
Say it again. You understood the question?
Is the end also change? I think they're two different things, aren't they?
In the end, the things of the drama, that continues. There is the end there in the drama, but you don't want drama to be forever. You have found the real you, and the real you is immortal, and your world is eternal. You discovered that side. And now you're seeing this world, the drama world, the right way. Otherwise, it was upside down.
Yes, thank you. So this is a good time to reflect together maybe on the subject. Do you want to give a question or focus topic for the rooms?
A nice topic for us is to understand what is the action I'm going to introduce. This 1 minute we said is very strategic. That is what will change things. What are you going to do in this 1 minute?
Well, when you say actions, it's also thoughts. So thoughts are subtle actions, is that right?
Yeah.
So what are the actions, in other words, thoughts that I'm going to introduce to bring about change?
Yeah. Experiences, mind meditation experiences.
Yeah.
It is like a more attitude. Superficial thought is not enough here. It has to be the attitude. The word used is action, but subtle action is a nice word.
Okay, hope it's clear. So we will use this time to meet each other again. And for those of you who want to take a pause, do come back for the final part, a bit more Q&A, meditation experiments, and also details of the follow-up. So do enjoy the discussion. And if you want to press help, if you're in the wrong room, then Heather will be assisting today. So enjoy and see you back soon. Welcome back. I wonder if we stopped anyone mid-sentence. Sorry if that happened. And so let's just create a pause. This gives the mind a bit of space to reflect for about a minute, and then we'll join back together again. Thank you. That was actually a little more than a minute. So we have some questions coming in. It's a sign of lots of deep reflections, which we could see from your discussion. So then we have a little time before we finish, and any remaining questions we can make an extra Q&A and put the audio in the drive. So welcome back, everyone, and back to Prashant for the final part. Thank you.
Thank you. And let us start with the whatever the sharings from the group, and any questions. Let us start with that momentum.
The feeling Prashant enjoys questions. So we have more questions and sharing right now, but it would be nice to hear your realizations as well. Maybe just a simple one to begin with. When you're talking about exit of the story world, what does it really refer to? Is it a physical exit or something else?
The exit just meaning our time here in the physical world has guaranteed limits. In other words, we have a death. And when we are seeing with a bigger map, you really understand there is no so-called death. The soul is immortal. So we literally conquer death. And instead of having this impossible demand that you should never die and then stay here, as long as possible. This kind of a funny position we take here, you become free from that. Because you understand this is a journey and there is an exit. But it changes your attitudes at every level. The moment you address this riddle of the end, then it changes your attitudes. Even the subject of love, you become truly loving. We have to ask, sometimes this question arises, where does love fit in? We have to ask, any relationship and love, is there any condition at the present time? And if the other person does something, behaves something, will your love change? And if it will change, then it is actually not authentic, not a real love. It's a conditional. But when you come in that bigger map and understand that you are beyond harm, and then you discover that love for others, which is, you can call it that is love. That is not business. That is not a bargain. They are, and that love is not based upon the story. Many things happen in the story, and you find that love. We all know this, and that's why the reference in the scriptures, love your enemy. But it is not, sort of show, but you will find the feelings of benevolence and warm feelings. There may not be any song, but you will discover that true love when you are stepping behind. But for all of this, the aspect of immortality, surprisingly, immortality is connected to all of this. But from our discussion today, if I am to underline one thing, you understand what the highest meditation is. We also mentioned it is not a level of thoughts, but it is the attitude. The word we used is action, but it is a subtle action. Action coming from this new understanding, your whole process, positioning, how you see things. So it is much deeper than just superficial thought, and that changes your underneath programming itself. And that is our aim, not just some relaxation, but shift of consciousness. Happy to hear any other comments.
Thank you. That's clear. So a question here. So the mind is the stage and the director can decide what is happening on the stage. Is it true that he can only add thoughts or can he actually also take away thoughts, subtract them from the stage of the mind?
The moment you bring in thought, as we said, at any one time, there can only be one actor, there can only be one thought. So the moment you bring new thought, the old thought is not there at that time. So if you are able to change your attitude, the understanding itself has changed, then there is no reason for other thoughts. As a small example, say you see a person and he's saying some bad words to you. Just like, let us take this example, a scenario. He's talking something, but he's talking bad things. And you might take the offense, you might even get angry. Now let us see scene 2, another. The same person doing the same thing, but now you have got a new understanding. What's a new understanding? He had a brain injury and since then he's behaving like this. You got this new understanding now. And now you are not having anger by his behavior, you are feeling mercy. You feel he needs some help. So what changed? Your new understanding. That changes your attitude, not just the thought, but your attitude itself is different. So it is not superficially you change the thought of mercy, but you feel mercy and you are thinking of benefiting him. And when you go home, you don't go home with a thought of anger again. Same happens here. As your understanding changes, whole positioning changes. And now your reactions will be different and thoughts will be different.
Thank you for this.
Prayers will be different.
It's good that we're not working at a superficial level because it doesn't bring results and we can get frustrated or it's complicated. And a request to understand a little bit more about subtle action. I'm not sure the context exactly, but I think you refer to thoughts as subtle actions. Would you like to say
just the example that we gave just now, where your attitude, at one time it was an attitude of resentment, of taking offense. That is the actor. That is the action we are talking about. So you are changed. You have an attitude of mercy, of benevolence. So action has changed. So these are examples of subtle actions.
Thank you. I hope that helps. That was a question from the Chinese group. Now this you did mention earlier, but if you wanted to add anything, how can we elevate our director to become stronger to handle the bandits and bullying without being caught in the drama? You mentioned about doing the homework and before the high drama comes, and then that alleviates the insecurity. But is there anything you wanted to further to that?
The knowledge, what helps the intellect, the director, is clearer knowledge, but knowledge should lead to a level where you are very clear and convinced. It should not be just something that you hear, but your thinking, your model is still different. No, it should lead to the level where you are really seeing with a bigger map. Then it means that knowledge has become digested by the director. It is not just heard, but it has become part of him. So the churning of knowledge, Sarah will give you the link for your homework and things to listen, but also reflect. And the questions, I like this, you asking questions. This process of questioning, that also creates process of reflection. Not passive, but you are thinking about it, reflecting about it. Speak about this to your friends. So they will ask you questions that will make you think.
Like the highlight of engaging the intellect. It makes it different from some other traditions, perhaps, or it builds a strong foundation. So could you explain a bit about fear and nervousness? Why we get those feelings, maybe, or any comments?
Yeah, in a simple model is the moment we create attachment in this temporary world, fear starts, because now we can lose it. When there was no attachment, when there was no bondage, then you can lose nothing, and there is no reason for fear. So right now where I am, there is a cloud there, and that cloud will disappear. It doesn't create fear in me. But if there was attachment, it will create fear in me. So invisible traveler, he knows that not one atom of this world can ever belong to him. He's free. He has no bondages, no expectations. He knows the drama has got a script and suddenly things can change and end. He has got nothing to lose. And so there is no fear. In a true sense, no fear. Under extreme provocations, he will have no fear.
Very interesting. It's like the root of it once we've understood. Okay, one more question which has come. Is it necessary to have silence to capture the subtle,
Silence, introspection, these are positive things here. Yeah, we definitely need to create time for that.
So on that note, there are no more questions. We have some silence. Maybe lots of thanks in the chat. Oh, there is. Thanks for explaining that everyone is brother soul and harmless, especially when they're angry with you. So I guess we see the separation between the role and the peaceful soul behind.
Let us create one more minute of attention. And after that, any announcements or other things. And the most beautiful thing for us is to use this spiritual sight. And game changes in 1 second. That just helps us see everything in a new way. To start with, we are seeing this whole physical world as a story. And it really is a story. And the story has different episodes. We accept the story. And we are aware of the world beyond the story. Thank you. We'll go to the announcements.
Thank you. There is a big feeling of happiness that's coming across with the messages and the feeling from the group, because with awareness, it's just a liberation, isn't it, for this, for the soul, for the self. Yeah, and making it easy. This is a big help. The drawings, the stories, the analogies. So lots of happy appreciation. And we would like to put the recordings on YouTube. So we have Sky Beyond Sky YouTube site, and it's very nice material. Also the website. The program which we will be sending all of you a link for is some recordings called Discovery 10, and it's giving some structure to help this process and lots of insights. And we will meet for the follow-up 2nd to 4th of July, and everything will be sent on email, but we'll put the link on the screen as well. After that is the next 1 week live retreat on the 5th of July. That's 2 to 4 p.m. UK time. So for some of you, it's going to be too late. But if you're in the US, Europe, India, it might be possible. All recordings will be available. If you would like, you can get in touch by email and request those. So yes, it's mainly just to say thank you, because it's really the group that make the power of the gathering, and your wonderful questions and comments. So I think I've said it all, but apart from to thank the translation team who are so hardworking behind the scenes, and everyone appreciates your giving you a big thumbs up there. So thanks so much. So we'll just share with you a song to close, and of course thanks to Prashant for sharing the fruit of your reflections. We'll see you soon.
Streaming beams of light through shattered panes fill the room of life, truth's warm glow. Dancing sunbeams filled with sweet dreams lay to rest a sea of doubts. Let your sorrow out. Sitting neath the tree of life again, fortune easy one, love's deep flow. Welcome in the sight, ambassadors of light, challenge thrown before the weary. He says, come near me, children, come near me. Wearing lustrous coats, the grains of time, dressed to call us back to innocence. Happiness is words, nectar overheard, shaking off the chains of sadness. Let's have gladness. Pulled by knowledge, sweetly pushed by love, soaring to the source of mercy. Sighted soldiers, filled with boldness, hoisting flags to fly forever, to fly